Previously on Power Reviews.
Can you remember anything from before we met? Maybe you should worry a little bit less about whether or not I'm real, and a little bit more about yourself.
Kay! No, I do not need a co-host. Kind of an aspiring author. I have a date! I have a publisher!
What?
You do not exist. Database Ranger? I'm an author.
All right. Not the end of the world. Just two guys in suits chasing after you with guns.
Now I just gotta figure out a way to get away from... Guy! Ooh, we can work this out, right?
I'm sorry I have to do this.
What? And now, Database Rangers Power Review. Greetings, Ranger fans, and welcome to my ride home. Wait! You gotta help me.
Hi, Database.
You know, guys, I can sit in the back seat if it would be more comfortable.
We're fine.
Eyes on the road!
Okay.
Anywho, thanks again for the ride.
You're welcome.
Eyes on the road!
Okay.
It's the least we can do.
After you made us that.
Lovely compact CD disc.
Well, actually, it's just called a CD, and I'm glad you guys liked it.
Let's listen to it.
Eyes on the road!
Okay. Here it is.
How did you... Oh, you don't have to.
I wish I could remember what on earth I could have done to deserve this. Thanks again for the ride.
We look forward to.
Seeing you again.
Bye, Database.
This footage doesn't make any sense.
Drop whatever you're doing.
Oh, so you're acknowledging my existence now.
No, but I've had a very long day, and you are very low on my list of inexplicable oddities. So, right now, I don't care if you're real, imagined, or a pre-recorded hologram.
Oh, please. That is so loud.
Last century, yeah, I know, but right now, all I want is to just sit down, relax, watch some PR, and do a good old-fashioned power review.
A review of what? According to my records, Power Rangers Megaforce doesn't resume for another month.
I thought they weren't coming back until September.
Next month is September.
So, does that mean it's August now?
That is how calendar cycles usually work.
Wow, that was fast. I could have sworn it was still June yesterday. In that case, let's review something in honor of the 20th anniversary. That's coming up soon.
Fair enough. Since it seems I'm unlikely to get any real work done, I'll enter a few quick search parameters in order to find something appropriate.
Thank you.
Alright, let's see. Single episode, anniversary season, abundant references to previous episodes.
Oh, I know exactly which one you're talking about. It's perfect. Cue it up.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Very well then. Episode loaded.
Excellent. Let's do this. Greetings, Ranger fans.
Salutations.
And welcome to Power Reviews. Well, today's episode needs no introduction, so let's dive right in with episode 34.
29.
Really?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. Episode 29 of Power Rangers Wild
Operation
Force.
Overdrive.
What?
Way back when. We commence with the 1-minute opening theme.
Which I could easily spend 5 minutes complaining about, but here we go away.
We're introduced to the core characters, starting with Overdrive Red,
Mac, the android with daddy issues.
Overdrive Yellow,
Ronnie, the race car driver with no understanding of sportsmanship.
Overdrive Black,
Will, the acquisitions expert played by an actual thief.
Overdrive Pink,
Rose, the walking info dump.
Overdrive Blue,
Dax, the hyperactive stuntman.
Overdrive Mercury,
Tyzon, the alien with identity issues.
Allies,
Spencer and Hartford.
and Villains.
Nord, Flurious, and Miratrix. Can we just skip over this theme?
Well, I'll admit, the music is not to my tastes, but
There's a whole lot of space.
the lyricist was really stretching on that one.
Power Rangers Overdrive is the #1 team.
I take it by your commentary that this is a far from accurate assessment.
What was your first clue?
I've
made a huge mistake.
While Rose examines their latest MacGuffin, the Octavian Chalice, Dax and Ronnie debate the age-old question of which came first, the chicken or the egg.
You're both wrong. The pterodactyl came first, almost 65 million years before the chicken or the egg even existed.
That is both irrelevant and inaccurate.
Her defining character trait is that she's never wrong.
Oh dear.
Anywho, Rose is baffled because the artifact shows signatures from all 5 of the jewels they've been collecting all season, meaning that it may be able to lead them to the 5th and final...
I thought we were looking for the 4th jewel.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong.
You are looking for the last jewel. You have 3, Miratrix and Camdor have 1, Moltor has the crown that unites them together. This is not complicated.
We need a review.
No, you don't!
So the entire premise of this episode is that these professional treasure hunters can't remember 2 events involving the only 2 artifacts they don't have in their possession, even when presented with a limited pool of options.
Yep.
This is going to hurt, isn't it?
Yep.
I'm a robot, remember?
That doesn't sound like the sort of thing one tends to forget. So apparently, Overdrive Red's CPU is the only actual record they've kept of previous events, and is only inexplicably accessible through a woefully ill-applied electroencephalograph, and equally inexplicably, only presents images from a third-person perspective.
I know! What's up with that? I mean, it's like he has this tiny little invisible camera flying around, recording his every move and transmitting it back to... Yeah, let's move on.
We see Andrew Hartford assemble the Ranger team to protect the crown, which they fail to do in remarkably short order, and seek out the jewels, beginning their search in the lost city of Atlantis.
Bet this is where echoes were invented.
And I thought high school students were too intellectually underdeveloped to be Rangers. Nice to see the bar has been lowered. They treat this monumental discovery with all due reverence by causing a series of explosions before collecting a cocoon containing an ancient scroll.
Next piece of the puzzle.
If I may ask, who constructed this puzzle?
An enigmatic entity known as Bruce Kalish. They then retrieve 2 more scrolls from Miratrix's monster and assemble them to form the Sword of Neptune. No, that will not make sense on further thought. Which then points them to the Caribbean island of St. Lucia, where they retrieve the first jewel from Pirate Ghost Brownbeard in return for saving him.
From what? An exorcism?
Nope, physical harm. Believing that they may be onto something with the locations of the jewels, Rose has Mac queue up their next adventure.
I feel like the $6 million DVD player.
Now that's just terrible market value.
They begin their search for the Ho Bird, which should lead them to the Toru Diamond,
The world's most precious diamond.
even though it actually looks like a worthless lump of quartz, but find themselves beaten to the punch.
Will has infiltrated Miratrix's ranks in order to get her to lead us to the Ho-Oh.
Funny how they leave out the part where he helps release her master Camdor, unleashing a far more powerful threat while simultaneously failing in his mission.
Well, I guess that just goes to show that...
Oh, and 2 episodes later, despite Dax's selfish behavior, they managed to get it back by throwing a brand new toy at the problem.
Are you implying that the underlying message here is that intelligent and moral behavior will not lead you to success, but expensive possessions will?
Did I miss mentioning that the Red Ranger himself is an expensive possession who only became a ranger because he distracted his creator/father in the midst of battle and then stole his morpher from him when he dropped it?
Well then, message loud and clear.
So after playing tug of war with the parchment for a while and then dumping lemon juice on it to get the latitude and longitude, just go with it. They retrieve the Toru Diamond from a volcano and use it to restore their scalified new ally Taizan.
It's like watching a sci-fi marathon.
He's staring at a person's face.
We cut to the introduction of the Fear Cats and to Taizan joining the team as the Mercury Ranger. And then to the Norse god Thor showing up in Mexico to help them shoot Mjolnir out of an Indonesian cannon to get to an Aztec compass as indicated to them by an ancient Portuguese statue of the face on Mars.
It's as if someone was playing darts with the map of the world and then suddenly hit a kickball.
The compass then leads them to the third jewel, which is subsequently stolen away by Miratrix and Camdor.
Are these the only 2 competent villains?
Looks like it.
In fact, Shortly after the Rangers retrieve a mystical torch from the Fear Cats, leading them to an Egyptian tomb, which looks oddly familiar for some reason, these two actually manage to hack into their database and beat the Rangers at getting to the mountain ranges of Florida.
This show likes to punch geography in the face. So, after a quick battleizer intro, the Rangers turn the tables and steal the fourth jewel from the terrible twosome.
Still not finding a pattern to the 4 coastal tropical locations, they then review the most recent events leading to the retrieval of the Octavian Chalice, which appears to serve no purpose other than to be redundant and depict the destruction of their Fear Cat foes.
This is so frustrating. Nothing makes any sense.
We know! It's at this point that their butler Spencer walks in with sandwiches to start off their new adventure.
Spencer, you're a genius.
The answer is sandwiches.
It wouldn't surprise me, but no. Spencer's statement prompts her to go back to the beginning and look at where each jewel was to start with, extrapolating where Atlantis, Istanbul, Portugal, and San Angeles were during the time of Pangea, leading them to the logical origin point for a 100-million-year-old Roman artifact. And that's the end of our episode. So, what did we think of it? Well, now who could that be?
I swear this is the last time.
Well, that's a good arm. Oh!
That's for standing me up. Ow.
What? No! I didn't. I mean...
I tried to call you and it went straight to voicemail. And when I finally do get through, you didn't even bother to pick up.
I think I was busy running at the time.
Oh, jogging. You think that's a good excuse?
No, I was running away. Not from you. There were men in suits with sunglasses and these gun things.
And what's that?
That would be the end credits to Power Rangers Operation Overdrive.
So now do you want to tell me why your phone was off?
I don't think I was getting any cell service inside the air vents.
I think we're done here.
No, I was at a publishing house, and they wanted to publish my book, and then they were chasing me, and then I was in a fridge, and there were all these twins, and then the punch to the face, and I don't know why the punch to the face, because they had the guns, and you're not believing anything I'm saying right now.
Nope.
You want nothing to do with me right now.
Yep.
I have no shot at another date, do I?
I wouldn't say that.
Really?
I'm sure that you and Power Rangers Operation Overdrive will be very happy together.
I hate my life.
She seemed upset.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give her a little bit of time to cool down and give me a little time to somehow explain the last 24 hours.
Do you want to talk about it?
Not really.
Do you want to finish the review?
Yeah, let's do that. Well, you want to start?
They forgot their own plot.
Yeah, that's a major problem with this one.
How does that even happen?
No idea.
Was there some sort of mass amnesia event?
Not that I can remember. Although I realize that's not saying much.
Despite placing more focus on action sequences than character development, which, considering their substandard intellects, is not necessarily a bad thing, the forgotten plot is at least summarized concisely, taking note of every step taken in the recovery of each jewel while simultaneously moving along quickly enough that the multitude of geographical and historical errors can be potentially ignored.
Of course, the fact that the lack of retrospective focus on the characters is actually a positive says a lot about this season. Almost every line of dialogue feels like it should be coming out of the mouths of children, not adult professionals, as even discussions that seem as though they are supposed to be mildly educational and demonstrate deductive reasoning are woefully flawed and inaccurate, and it's hard for those who have seen the episodes being referenced to not be reminded of things like how the ancient Portuguese were able to view the surface of Mars.
Not to mention that the one part of this episode which advances the plot makes no geographical sense, as it places San Angeles in either Europe or Africa, both of which are contradicted in this very episode by the trajectory of the blinking lights.
Plus, it means that Atlantis is in the Mediterranean Sea, and if the former is true about San Angeles, that either means that Flores' ice cave with the Himalayan Yeti is in a Mediterranean climate, or that Will's joyride in the Atlantis episode is even more idiotic than we thought.
And pterodactyls are from the late Jurassic, not the post-Cretaceous! I apologize. Paleontology is a bit of a sore subject.
Overall, this episode does serve its purpose in that it fairly competently recaps the events of the season while simultaneously moving the plot forward. However, the flimsy premise and frustrating interstitial dialogue just serves to underscore how incompetent these characters are and just how contrived their victories have been. So, I think I'm about done here, as I have a very long story to try and convey to a very angry woman.
And speaking of archival footage, which makes no sense, I have work to get back to.
Mail.
We need to move.